Well, it is the first preseason game of the Browns' schedule as they continue to progress through training camp. And boy, oh boy, nothing is ever dull with the Cleveland Browns, as Shedeur Sanders will get the start and probably play most of the game with two quarterbacks hurt. And, of course, not going to play Joe Flacco. Makes you think that Joe Flacco could be the starter. Yeah. Other people think it's Kenny Pickett. We'll get into all of it and all these weird narratives nationally around Shedeur and the Browns as well. This is the Voice of Land here on the Big Play Network, brought to you by Greeny Sports Cards. We'll get our contest winners next week. Ryan will give you the details in just a moment. But, of course, we're also partnered with LPV Productions. And as we said, Greeny Sports Cards, those Muni Lot card pack that we have for people. A lot of people like these things. I see, I don't know, every day I see someone posting about them on my feed, and we have a chance for people to win those from our friends at Greeny Sports Cards. Reach out to them, greenysportscards.com.
Yeah, on our Twitter, at VTL_pod. It's our pinned tweet. You just go in there and follow the rules. Just like, comment, tag a friend, follow us and Greenies, and you're entered. And then, like Kevin said, next Thursday, we'll announce the winners live on the show, and you'll be contacted there. So you have another week to enter. Those, like you said, those Muni Lot cards are really awesome. Everyone loves them. I said last week people were posting that they were showing up at flea markets and stuff, so the resale value apparently is out to there too. So really cool items, and you can win them courtesy of Greenies, and we're really, really grateful for Greenies to provide those for us. So,
and we know Greenies, they are a big fan of all the teams here in town, and they have Greeny Sports Cards t-shirts that have the color concepts of all the teams here in town. I know that they were just at a big show themselves, and they were actually in, I think it was it Steve that was involved in, like, he was like interviewed by somebody because they were trying to get Tom Brady's autograph on like a ball that actually came from that game.
Yeah, I think they talked to Steve with that. I know he posted a bunch of stuff from the show. So
yeah, so awesome. So they were all over the place. People in the main scene of card collecting, they know Greeny Sports Cards, so that's someone you can trust when it comes to that. They have Pokemon card shows. They have the regular sports card shows. Once a month at the Kirtland Senior Center. They go live every Tuesday night at 7 on their social media. So make sure greensportscards.com. And I'm sure all the links to their social media so you can follow them like whatever. You can follow them by doing that. And like I said, they're big Browns fans. We're big Browns fans, but boy, oh boy, does that get tested on a daily, hourly basis at times. Ryan, preseason game number 1. How you feeling?
I am so excited. So excited. The fact that
you sound like it.
I genuinely, I actually am genuinely. For all
we're going with like a bit.
No. For all the flack that I gave, Shedeur about being, everyone wanted him second overall. Now that we have him, I love the talent. I think he's a great talent. I just didn't think he was going to be second overall, and he wasn't. Shouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, I've been saying it, kicking a dead horse here, but saying it, we need to get these rookies in. I'm not saying start the first game, second week, third, whatever, but eventually get them ready. And this is now a way that we can showcase a rookie that, is renowned. He's a Sanders. So a lot of people know this name and a lot of people want him to succeed. Now he gets his shot, in practice where they, Mary Kay says they're doing all the right things by bringing him along slowly and this and that. But nonetheless, we have one season. Despite being the fourth string and, passing to ball boys, which I heard was reported he was throwing to ball boys at one point, which is insane. He can now showcase himself. He can now make himself a presence. He can now force the Browns' hand. So, will Stefanski throw him out there and let him, gunsling it? Probably not, but just play well, be accurate and know the system. That's all. Just look competent, man. We're looking for competency here. So I'm excited. And I hope he does well. So
everybody seems like there is definitely a level of excitement, and a level of excitement that people have not had for a preseason game ever. To my memory, there's probably something in there, but I know people wanted to see Baker, but it wasn't this. The whole dividing of the fan base with Baker didn't happen until a year or two into his tenure here as the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. Shedeur has been the hot button since before day one in Berea. Now, yes, he fell to the 5th round, but this is not a 5th round draft pick. And everybody has said that. I know that's not nothing new for people to hear. It is an opportunity. Some people are upset. Well, he's only getting this chance because people are hurt. Well, it's still a chance. It's still an opportunity. And, I know that some people expect a lot out of him. I expect him to play well. I expect to see some mistakes. I expect to see, I'm sure there's going to be a sack mixed in there. There might be an interception. Like, he seems to be a guy that, like, when he does make mistakes, though, he learns from them and grows from them. And that's really what this is all about. Like, preseason is for that.
Right.
Typically, preseason doesn't really matter, except to see some of the rookies and what kind of impact and, have you worked out the issues of the past. I know in the joint practice in Carolina, those pre-snap penalties kind of came back to the forefront. Some people have said that, it could be they are emphasizing it. They're trying to fix that issue.
Sure.
Some of that does come from 4 different signal callers and now 5 because you have Snoop Huntley in the mix just because you needed a camp arm. Because Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel, they were doing 7-on-7s. And the Browns were never going to deviate from their practice plan in the joint practice with Carolina. If those guys go out there and get reps, like they were going to get everybody that could get reps. It wasn't, they weren't going to give Shedeur more just so he could prep for a game that in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter record wise. It matters what you do and what type of progress we see. And it has divided a fan base. I'm excited to see him get an opportunity. Everybody's asked for it. Like this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to make mistakes and learn from them. It's an opportunity to showcase the talent that you have. It's an opportunity to show I'm not a 5th round draft pick. It's something in my pre-draft process and or other things behind the scenes. If you believe in that kind of stuff, made me fall to the 5th round, but I was really a low 1st round to high 2nd round level draft pick that can be considered a franchise quarterback.
If Kenny Pickett was a 1st round pick, I mean, I know he's one of our quarterbacks, but
I know. And you could say, well, in that draft, there was not much to pick from.
There's no.
Well, this draft was kind of the same thing. And, I believe Kenny Pickett was drafted in what, 20?
It was late. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the 20s by Pittsburgh. But again, people said that there was nobody in that draft. And just in those few short years from the time he was drafted till now, Ryan, the amount that the importance of that position and people overdrafting to get that position right and get their organization on the right track has gone up exponentially.
I mean, I feel like it's historically been that way. Teams are desperate. I mean, look at the Browns giving away their future for a broke quarterback, a morally broken quarterback at that.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly.
I mean, sure.
I know.
Yes, allegedly. Yes, of course. Nonetheless, I mean, teams are going to reach and fail. I mean, Baker laughed at the Giants when they drafted Daniel Jones, I think 4th overall.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to happen. And Anthony Richardson super early in the draft, and he looks like maybe promising, but we'll see. But if those guys stick, they stick. So if teams are going to keep going, and Andrew Berry's got the ammo, and if if Berry and Stefanski are both sticking around next year, like they can finally say, now we have the ammo to go get our guy, and it's supposed to be a better quarterback class next year. It's just we got to get through this season first. So
yeah. Oof. And is there even a chance, even an ability, as you're starting to see having 4 quarterbacks in training camp, not good.
Yeah, too much.
Not good for the development of a team, especially if you are trying to get rid of the stank of a 3-14 season, a terrible, terrible season. And you're trying to show that was an anomaly. That was a year where we made the mistake of catering an entire system, an offensive system, to one guy instead of doing a system and a culture for all 53 and 90 right now with the rosters that you have. Can they find a way to try to figure out, because you only have this year to figure out if Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders are there. Now, one of the narratives around Shedeur is like, give it time, like everything will work itself out. There's no sense of urgency. I disagree with that to this extent. He, like, being the fourth string quarterback, if he doesn't actually ever get a true opportunity, like tomorrow night is a true opportunity.
It may be the only opportunity we see him in a Browns uniform. Like, that's how drastic and weird the situation is with this position.
You might draft a guy next year in the first round because, these guys are a third and a fifth round pick, and that's how you actually look at them when they don't equate to that, especially Shedeur Sanders and his fifth round draft pick. He doesn't actually, you never see anything. You just assume fifth round draft pick, we can get a first round draft pick. That's really the franchise quarterback. What if it's not? Like, that is the predicament that they put themselves in, and they have to figure it out, or else they're going to be gone. And they might, like, if they go 3-14 again, I don't see, the writing's going to be on the wall for both of these guys.
They got lucky they were brought back this year, in my opinion. So
they got a mulligan.
Don't press your luck if I were them. So
they got a mulligan.
Yeah,
that's really what it was. They got a mulligan, and it kind of shows that everybody in the organization realized, wow, we took a big swing, and the breeze is still coming off of that swing and miss.
And they took the swing as a collective group too, owner, coach, and GM all together. So the mulligan is for all three of them.
Everybody wants to pin it on one person or the other. It's on all of them. Like, if you agree to this, if you're involved in it, if you're saying all the right things, even if you feel differently, that trade was still made.
Yeah.
So it's on everybody at that point. It's on everybody. And the owners have to show some level of accountability. Andrew Berry has to. Kevin Stefanski has to. And that's just the reality of it. Like, we can argue all day. Like, if you're a big Andrew Berry fan or a big Kevin Stefanski fan, and you think, oh, we're being mean to them by saying that. No, this is just the reality. They were given an opportunity. You want to talk about opportunities for Shedeur Sanders? This season is a critical opportunity for Andrew Berry, and especially during the season, for Kevin Stefanski to show, this is who I am. This is what I can make stuff work here in the NFL, as long as you guys don't mess with what I'm trying to do. Let me do the coaching. You guys do your job. That's how we'll work collectively together. We'll have all of our input. The person that's in charge of the off the field decisions, make those. The personnel decisions, make those. Let me make the on-field decisions. That's what he has to show this year.
I don't know if I'm confident in him to do it. Well, we'll see. I mean, I thought that, pushing it onto our offensive coordinator last year, I thought saved his job in Cleveland personally. I think that he created a scapegoat when he saw that the season wasn't going to go the way he thought it was.
Yep.
And now it's time to put up or shut up, brother. Like, yeah. And it sucks because we have Joe Flacco, a 40-year-old quarterback who had some success until the playoff game. But there's not much there. So you better scheme your butt off this year. Our saving grace right now probably is our defense. If I could, pick something, I mean, that's where we have the most superstars. And even there, we are constant, a couple injuries, JOK and Emerson Jr. And
Jordan Hicks retiring.
Jordan Hicks. So we're just finding holes in, more and more. So, there's guys that are going to have to step up, but our saving grace is going to have that, have to be the defense. If it was the defense from 2 years ago where they're creating turnovers instead of, Greg Newsome doing air guitar because a quarterback overthrew a receiver,
There's a flag on the field.
Right. Yeah. So I just, if this defense can go back to their old identity, I think we could surprise and have some wins down the is going to be a hard schedule, but we could surprise some people. I don't see that happening personally, but that our saving grace is going to have to be this defense.
So let's tidy things up on Shedeur before we, because I definitely want to talk about more than just Shedeur, like, and doing justice to the rest of the team, because there's other things we need to look for tomorrow night. There's things that people aren't going to play, and we'll talk about that too. But for Shedeur, there's this national narrative.
Yep.
One of the narratives, again, was like there's no sense of urgency to try to like force him in there. Again, if he doesn't really even get an opportunity and they bring in another guy next year, like he's going to be dropped further down.
Yeah.
And Dylan then gets dropped down. But Dylan somehow still ahead of Shedeur Sanders in their minds. That's how they see it. They haven't had anything to deter that. The other national narrative that I know started from fan conspiracy theorists, but now has been brought to a national audience, a broad audience, this notion that the Browns are sabotaging Shedeur Sanders and his potential to develop in the NFL as a professional football player.
That's so dumb. So dumb.
Again, there are a lot of things where, and we always say it, you can tweet at us at VTL_pod. You can tweet at Ryan. You can tweet at Dynasty Clee. You can tweet at me at Kevin and 7. Like, we'll have actual conversations.
Yeah.
And if we don't agree at the end of the conversation, guess what? That's okay. There's a lot of that. Like, we're not going to tell people how to feel.
Right.
There's exceptions to every rule, though. And I know Stephen A. has said it. I know Louis Riddick. Other people in the national media have said it. I think Dan Orlovsky came out today to be one of the national guys to dispel that notion that, like, they're not sabotaging Shedeur's career. Like, he was... People need to understand, and I think people are in denial about this. Whether you agree with it or not, that's a totally different conversation. The Browns, had Dylan Gabriel ranked way higher as a quarterback prospect than Shedeur Sanders. They brought Kenny Pickett in here as the first quarterback to try, as the offseason process went along, to try to revamp, as they said, the quarterback room for the Cleveland Browns.
I just feel like these moves are just so silly. Like,
right.
Dylan Gabriel in the third round, and everyone said he's going to be a seventh, to undrafted free agent. You got Kenny Pickett, who everyone says is the bust, and hopefully will spark fire. We have Joe Flacco is 40. Like, we're not serious. This is not serious. And the fact that people were saying like, oh, they're trying to sabotage Shedeur, that's dumb. We haven't had a quarterback like since Bernie and Brian Sipe. Like, that's dumb. If this guy is going to be the guy, they're going to play him. Like, they're not going to sabotage someone's career. But also, you have to look at the fact that, like, we have two rookies who are apparently not ready. We have a guy in the third round who they love, who allegedly Darryl Ryder said looks like one of the worst quarterbacks he's ever seen ever for this whole few practices. We have Kenny and we have Joe Flacco is 40. They're not looking to win. They have future picks. They're looking to manage and save their jobs and hopefully just not go 3 and whatever. This is all so silly. This is all silly, man. Sorry, when you were like just listing off what they've done,
I know.
it just sounds like a joke. That sounds like a farce.
And those are opinions that, like, I definitely get on board with. But like, where I can tell people, like, your opinion really needs to be
sorry for yelling, Peter.
reworked. No, you can yell all you want. That's because that's where it's real with this show.
Right.
Stephen A. went on First Take today and said all that stuff about Jimmy Haslam and Shedeur Sanders, and he's yelling into a microphone. Now, is he an example for young people trying to get into this business, for how he grinded and made his way to the point that he's at now, where he gets to just simply yell into a microphone and get clicks and clickbait, troll, all that stuff? Absolutely. Like, the story behind Stephen A. Smith is an inspirational one. But going out there just to yell into a microphone every single day, like, I know that they get ratings and that's great. I would say it turns a good base of sports fans off. And but like, there's times where you have to get heated. You have to, like, the passion should come out. Like, that's why I always say at the end of these shows, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. Like, and I know that Flacco has said that, and in some press and stuff like that. Like, I understand the concept of it's just a game. But where it comes from is I was told as a kid, like when I would be upset when my team lost and stuff like that, that it's just a game. Like your passion for sports doesn't matter. That's where being told it's just a game really got under my skin.
Right.
Having a passion of mine, a true love of mine, something that I feel like I'm decent at here in this industry and have found a career path. Like I've turned a passion into a career, and it fuels part of who I am. It's not the only thing. Like my family matters the most to me. My faith matters. I know what matters more than sports. But don't diminish people's passions. Don't tell people they can't do something, or being a theater kid doesn't matter. Like having a passion for singing doesn't matter. No, like we need to lift people up for all of their different passions. That's where the don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game comes from. Again, that was used as a phrase to me that said your sports fandom doesn't matter. I like the version of Joe Flacco saying that, Ryan. That is like, guys like trying to like too much in their head and, like thinking they have to be perfect at every sense of the thing. At the end of the day, you played a game, but your life is still around you. Like that is where just a game actually makes sense. Sorry to get off on a diatribe there. All the way back to Shedeur Sanders, who we're passionate about here. I know I'm passionate about Shedeur Sanders. But sabotaging him, that opinion just doesn't make any sense. And if that were ever found out to be true, boy, oh boy, you wouldn't just lose your job. You would lose your livelihood. You wouldn't be back in the NFL. That might be something that you don't get the second chance. They took him in the 5th round because they liked the player, they liked the person, they liked his dad. They felt like they had something there, whether they see him as an asset for the future to either be on the field or making moves in the future to really get this quarterback thing figured out, whatever it might be. Kevin Stefanski understands 4 quarterbacks is not helping this team get ready to play a football season. He's added in tackling, live periods. They did 30 minutes. Did you hear that they did 30 plus minutes with Carolina in the joint practice where it was live?
Nice. That's awesome.
They had one day where it was like 10, 12 minutes. Then they bumped it up to 20 minutes in their practices. And then they go to Carolina, they had 30.
That's sick. And it's like new faces, a little bit of competition.
Mm-hmm.
You get that spark, it's that's fun. So
yeah. And again, whether the conversation about whether you agree with their analysis of all of this is a different conversation. The fact is they see Shedeur Sanders as a true 5th round quarterback. He is taking this in stride and doing everything the right way. He is putting is putting in the extra work. He says the right things. We say don't talk about it, be about it. But when you are putting in the extra work and you're seeing the actions match up with the words, that's where you can actually buy into what someone is saying. Yes, this is an opportunity, but if people are expecting him to go out there and throw like 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, be and just all the way jump to the number 1 spot tomorrow night, you're the one that's doing a disservice to Shedeur Sanders. Now, are the Browns doing, I would argue more the Browns, you could say, sabotage the buy-in of their fans more than they would ever sabotage the career of one of their players.
They don't care about that. They are always going to assume, until we stop going to games, until we stop buying the merch, until we stop celebrating this awful franchise, they're going to take advantage of us just assuming that we're going to continue to do it. And we are, because we're the most loyal, dumbest fan base in the world, me and myself included. I'm a big Browns idiot. I mean, I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I pray that, by the time this stadium comes around, that we're not an embarrassment. We should be out of some contracts, but most of the guys on this team aren't going to be here anymore. It's going to be a whole new team. So
Yeah. And again, like this sabotaging of Shadur, like this conversation has come up and people are now like, people are combating it by saying, the other quarterbacks are out. They're not going to play Joe Flacco. Like people think people are saying it just because of him starting tomorrow night. I've heard that conversation come up before even he was announced as the starter, that, not giving him any more reps or reps with the ones. He's only gone against some of the first defense once in training camp, those types of things. Again, they have put themselves in a bad spot where they are trying to do what they are telling you is a 4 quarterback competition. It's not. No. Just see through those brown and orange color glasses. Like they're not telling you the truth there. Kevin Stefanski says don't read into who's getting reps with who. That was not true. Like we know better than that.
Right.
It's exactly why there's quarterback trackers out there. And did they need more context? Yeah. The people that put them together say they need more context, and they give more context by tweeting them out and then quote tweeting them with more information on them. So like take it all in. Don't just see half the vision. But you're trying to do a 4 quarterback competition, really 2, with 4 quarterbacks involved, while still trying to get a team ready to show that you're not a 3-14 level football team.
Yeah.
They don't connect. No. Took a swing. They took another swing. And boy, it's looking like a miss.
They keep swinging. They're going to keep swinging until hopefully they make contact. But when that'll be, we'll never know, I guess.
Yeah. It's, it does get tiresome to see swings and misses over and over and over again.
Yep.
That's what happened during the Guardians' 10-game losing streak. You saw so many swings and misses and an offense that couldn't get going. Well, they got themselves going because even though people talk about a cheap organization and they don't know what they're doing, they're back in the playoff. Like they're right there in the playoff hunt, and Detroit's not playing well, and they continue to chip away at that division lead. I'm not saying they're winning the division. I'm just saying.
I am. No, I don't know.
I'm just saying they're doing what you want at this time of the year. The Browns just continue to just like a hamster on a wheel. They just continue to do the same thing over and over again. The only difference is they're at least actually taking true swings and not just some like swing before the pitcher even throws the ball that you hit the button on your MLB The Show, you get a strike call on you and the ball hasn't even been thrown yet. I think I used to do that in backyard baseball. I'd accidentally hit a button, guy would swing and it'd be called a strike, and I didn't. Oh. The pitch wasn't even made or something like that. Maybe it was a glitch in my game, but that's why I'm sitting here and I'm not actually out there playing. Who else do you want to see though in tomorrow's game, and what are your expectations from this team? What do you want coming out of this game to feel better or at least good about this team?
I didn't see who's officially playing and not playing, but I'm guessing that the rookies are. I'm excited to see Carson Swishinger. Especially now that JOK is not with the team this year. We'll see what happens next year. Fingers crossed, but nonetheless, we have Carson Swishinger. I'm excited to see how he does. Reports are saying he's just dominating out there. Saw a couple of videos. I saw him hit Dallin Sampson, and Sampson went like 12 feet. It was crazy. So I'm excited to see him. I'm excited to see him make some plays, and he likes to hit, so that'll be fun. Mason Graham, clearly, our first round pick. Reports are saying he's good as well, and I'm excited. I really think he's going to do well. So just to see, these new guys that hopefully have a future, I think will have a future with this team and a successful one. Start their career.
I definitely want to see that, and everybody has said that no one was going to know how good of a pick, at least it appears on paper, that Mason Graham is until you get the pads on and you see action that way before the season starts. And this, as long as they do play, even though he is considered a starter and he's working with the ones and probably I think he's working alongside Malik Collins in that defensive tackle spot. So you have Mike Hall come back from injury and have him in the rotation, but they have a decent defensive line rotation, and Mason Graham is a part of that. He plays tomorrow night, like you want to see at a preseason first game like action speed.
Yeah.
Is he taking to the aggressive style defense of Jim Schwartz more, I guess, quicker than people would expect coming out of a long-term system he was in the school up north that said, like, you got to take up blocks and that kind of thing?
I mean, yeah, I've heard his job is just see quarterback, go get quarterback, and he's very fast. So I just want to see him work, like play at NFL speed. That's the first thing I want to see. And not only that, but look fast. I mean, he's a fast player. His thing is going fast, being low, and not being a bully. He's not a big boy, but he's quick and he is a savage that way. Great on run defense as well. So I just want to see him play at an NFL level. And at that speed, I think that would be great.
And there's going to be mistakes.
Sure.
I've heard Andrew Siciliano, the now play-by-play voice, continued RIP and best wishes to the Donovan family. Jim Donovan, who we lost last year, that is going to be an emotional time.
For a while,
for a long time. But Andrew Siciliano, I mean, he's worked at NFL Network. He's been in all the different circles. He knows what's going on. And he said, like, the only thing for Schlesinger and Graham is to not overplay.
Sure.
Not play too fast. And as a rookie, like, that's going to, there's moments where that's going to happen. That doesn't make them a bad player. But if you continue to see that same mistake over and over again, that's just someone it's just not clicking at the professional level to make that change.
And that's on coaching. I mean, as long as they read their keys and are true to where they need to be, they should be fine. And both of these guys are, Schlesinger is incredibly smart.
Yes.
And Mason Graham has played at a high level and has been successful, and I perceive him as smart. I know that Schlesinger is smart, but I feel like just read their keys, and I don't foresee them over. I don't know. I have high confidence about these picks. Yeah. I'm excited about them.
I mean, there's the adrenaline rush that they're going to get tomorrow night when they play. And there's, maybe at first, maybe those things do happen. But being sound in your fundamentals, Mason Graham being told to see quarterback, go get quarterback. Well, you're also in that defensive tackle spot and you're in the middle.
Yep.
If, they check to a run, you got to be able to make sure, like, we're not a team that's just being gashed by the run because we're only solely focused on the guy in the backfield.
And that's been a problem for a long time with us, is stopping the run, especially in the middle. And he's a run stop specialist. So, fingers crossed, this is our guy.
I want to see Deontay Johnson, who from all his name didn't come up when Kevin Stefanski specifically answered a question about one position group, and that was the wide receivers on who wasn't playing.
Right.
All he said Tillman and Jerry Jeudy. I understand Jerry Jeudy. Said Tillman probably could use that, but if they're putting him in that number 2 role, they want to try to keep their top 2 receivers as healthy as possible going into.
I'm fine with that, especially with concussion issues. So send him out. I do think it puts Shedeur as a disadvantage, but like you said, go ahead with Deontay. Sorry.
No, that's no.
He's crisp with his routes, and he should play well. Him and probably Thrash will be the receiver 1 and 2, and this guy's looking for a spot on the team. So
and then you got Gage Larvinen, who is undrafted rookie, who has been showing out, even though he's small of stature. Like, I guess he's pretty well built and been playing pretty well. I saw him making plays against another team yesterday in the joint practice. I have a soft spot, and maybe Peter and Jacob the Tullops kind of have the same feeling. But Luke Floria, Menor High School grad. Everybody always says, like, oh, Luke Floria is from the area, Kent State grad. Well, yeah, but he also, like, he went to Menor. Like, there's plenty of people that come from around the country that still go to Kent State, but, like, this guy is from the 440, and a guy that I covered at Ohio Media School when we were kind of having a heavy emphasis on Menor High School football. Like, Luke Floria was one of those guys. I think I may have interviewed him or, like, videoed an interview that we were doing with him. So there's a soft spot there. Like, am I going to be upset with the team if they, he's part of the cut downs and then maybe comes back as a practice squad player? No, I know he's making plays, but it's for these opportunities in the preseason, especially in the first 2 games, not the joint practices. Those are opportunities for a guy like Floria and Larvinen to show what they're doing in practice equates to the field. There are plenty of examples of, training camp darlings, Devin Kajus, was that Giuseppe
Yeah,
Sheehy
Giuseppe, man, I love that guy.
Like,
I wonder what he's doing.
but there's like training, and I know, like, I know he had some moments in the preseason games, but
Right.
those were guys that, like, they flashed in training camp, but they never, it didn't really translate. So it's an opportunity for a guy like Gage and Floria to show what they're doing in practice translates to the football field. And they were under recruited, they were under scouted coming in the NFL, and this is their opportunity to show that they belong in this league. If they don't, they don't, and that's where the roster decisions come in. That's for the team to figure out. That's not for me to figure out.
Yeah.
I just have a soft spot for a local Lake County kid. I'm sorry, I can't have orange and brown glasses or Ohio glasses every now and again. So, but I'm excited for that. And
Yeah.
if Harold Fanning gets out there, like, that's a guy that you want to see.
Yeah.
Because Njoku won't be, so then he's your tight end one if he plays. Now you get a chance to actually see what he can do, and then how he can help Njoku in games moving forward.
Yeah, and it's important to note that Njoku is on the last year of his contract as well.
Yeah.
So if Harold Fanning goes out there and he, Njoku took 5-6 years to get to where he is, to where he he was considered a top 10, top 15 tight end. He's in right now. Hopefully, he'll be another top 10 tight end this year. But Harold Fannin last year led all of college football in catches and yards at Bowling Green, which is crazy to think about. So, like, if that can translate, that guy could be a quick and easy replacement if, they realize, hey, Njoku was great here, but, we have a way cheaper alternative that's relatively similar in playing stature. So,
and people have brought up that Njoku's not having a great camp. He's had at least one drop in every day, and then other people make the excuse that, oh, he's not a practice player, he just shows up when the games hit.
Right.
Some people have made sure to bring it up, and we'll bring it up. Like, he lost his, excuse me for not remembering, it was either his dad or his mom, but like, he lost one of his parents very recently. And I know the type of family guy that Njoku is. Like, it might take, everybody is affected by death differently. So I'm not getting upset or anything like that, like we did early in his career where he was drop the easy one, catch the most difficult one, that type of thing. I give him his space, his time. And again, that's where it's just a game comment comes into play. Like, there are more important things going on with Njoku as he, tries to get back into his job and not forget about those things, but try to escape from that type of stuff. And for some people, they can, other people they can't. That's just the difficulty of life.
And it's kind of a cliche, but like, now is the time to make those mistakes. And with, he's a veteran. He's been around longer than Stefanski and Barry. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about him right now. If he's got some stuff going on, John Dorsey drafted him, right? Sashi?
I think it was Sashi.
Yeah, damn. He's been around for a while.
2017.
He traded up back around in the first round pick. Yeah. Nonetheless, he's been here forever. I'm not worried about him, not entirely being in training camp with the loss of a parent. That's awful. Hopefully, in a couple weeks, once we get closer to the first game, he locks it up and, it can do his job and do it successfully.
Yeah. And do it for those few hours. And then, however else, he gets through things, and I'm sure his teammates are there for him. His family's there for him. His friends are there for him. So I'm only bringing that up because I've heard it presented like people don't give that information all the time.
Right.
Like, I think
this is the first I've heard of it. Actually,
people just expect like everybody knows that happened.
Right.
Like, I knew it happened. Like, I saw the story as soon as it happened, or at least the first time he wasn't at practice and it was excused, and then people found out why it was excused and everybody fully understood.
Sure.
I think people forget to give the context there, thinking that everybody's already heard that story. And there's some people that don't know that, because all they're hearing is, well, he's not having a great camp and he's dropping passes every single practice. But like, that's all that they hear. And maybe sometimes it's just people that are only hearing that because then they don't listen fully for everything that's going on. You know, there are people that are upset with things like the quarterback trackers because they're only listening to the numbers, or they're only reading that, but they're not getting the information that goes in around it. That is widely available with the context. So all of those factors go in. Before we get out of here for the night, and of course, reach out to Greeny Sports Cards, our great partners. We love those guys.
Definitely.
You know, they do such an amazing job. And greenysportscards.com, we have the contest going on. We're going to announce the winner next week on the show. Also trying to get Tyler Danberg on the show next week to talk a little Ohio State Buckeyes.
Make sure to be here. He's awesome. Super knowledgeable guy. Really great guy.
So we'll see if the schedules align there. As he just announced he's getting a job in Columbus to go back to basically covering Ohio State and at one of the radio stations down there after doing such a great job on the campus. Like, he's going to go back into his wheelhouse down there in Columbus, which is awesome to hear for him. And we thank Curtis Danberg for always being so gracious with his time here too. I mean, that we need to have him back on, but I know like this year has been such a up and down, everything kind of going on there. So, you know, hopefully we can get Tyler next week. Nothing official, but hopefully we can get him talking to Ohio State because they have their own quarterback competition going on. It's probably gonna be Julian Sand, people. Just
definitely gonna be Julian Sand.
I don't like Ryan Day kind of alluding to some turnovers happening and stuff at practice. You know,
it's practice.
It's practice.
That's when you make them. So
I truly believe a guy like Bo Bishop, who works for that same station down in Columbus. I think it's 97.1 The Fan. I think it is. I always get the numbers on radio stations wrong. Right? The only one I can get right is the one I work at. I always get the numbers wrong.
720, right?
Yeah. 720. Yeah. But down there, you know, he does a show, Bishop and Friends down there, and he said that Sayin has the quickest release he has ever seen, and it looks effortless coming out of his hand. Can he be effective in the passing game? It's easy to say, just get the ball to 4 to Jeremiah Smith, and Jeremiah Smith will go up and make a play, even if he's double covered or whatever, and it looks like the pass was terrible. He'll make it look good, but you also have Carnell Tate. You have Brandon Innes, who
Mylan Graham. I mean,
I mean, Brandon Innes is a guy that even Carnell Tate's talking about. Like, this guy has put in the work.
Good.
See if it comes through, because then you got another 3-headed monster out there, and you can double and try to filter to Jeremiah Smith all you want. Carnell Tate can take a little 5-yard crossing route and take it the distance.
I mean, I have confidence.
Brandon Innes can do the same thing.
Our top 7 receivers. I have confidence that they will be a number 1 at 90% of schools in college football. I mean, all the way down. Even our freshman Quincy Porter. Jeremiah Smith saying he's next up. So like, it's just a never ending.
Sanchez at corner,
right? And then I mean, it's so nice that they just continue to. Next year will be Chris Henry Jr. and then Jameer Brown, who is the number 1 receiver, is already committed to Ohio State for 2027. So it's just continuing, just like next one up. Bob Penn Miller, who out of Mansfield was a quarterback. He switched to Ryan Hartline, recruited for receiver, and he's his project receiver out there making tons of plays. I mean, do you work with the 850? His son,
Dale?
Yeah, he's making plays. It's insane. That just like, and the guy like Brandon Innes.
I love every time I see the number 81 pop up in a video on Ohio State stuff.
It's a testament. Like, these guys want to compete. Brandon Innes has been here for 4 years. He was the number 1 receiver in his class, and he hasn't had the opportunity. Now he has. He could have transferred out and played anywhere else, but he believes in the process. He believes in the factory, and now he's going to reap those benefits this year. So
even with NIL, there's going to be these top programs in the country that are going to get guys like Brandon Innes to stick around. Even though they could probably be offered money to go somewhere else, because they know the professional level of development that they are getting at Ohio State, and how Ohio State receivers still get drafted, even if they don't get as many opportunities. When they get the opportunities, they definitely show up. And people hate the phrase, Buckeyes don't rebuild, they reload.
Right. That's true.
I mean, it's true. Like, that's not just me being a Buckeye homer or anything like that, or scarlet and gray glasses on right now. Wearing Ohio State gear. I also got to make sure every time I do this show, I got to make sure I don't like wear the same shirt.
I constantly worry about that.
Somehow it just kind of like comes through the rotation. So no, you're not watching a show of the past that you saw maybe.
And they're washed. It just
yes, they are definitely washed. I mean, after the stuff in our basement. We had to wash everything.
Yeah. Well, what you're saying about NIL too, like what they might not get in NIL at Ohio State and somewhere else is going to reap the total benefit. Look at Garrett Wilson signing $140 million, something like that. Like you're gonna make your money. You go to Ohio State to not make the little money. You go to Ohio State to make that contract. So
yeah, and again, while the Buckeyes reload, like it still takes play on the field and execution to actually live up to expectations. Like there's high expectation to go Ohio State. They have plenty of talent. You can't debate that they don't have plenty of talent.
Right.
But if the talent doesn't put forth the work, put forth the effort, execute in games, then that's where you see, teams like Ohio State or big programs like that not get to the level of success that everybody expects them to every single year. Comes down to play on the field and the coaching getting the most out of the players. Same way in every single sport. I tell you, Stephen Vogt's getting a lot out of his team right now.
Yeah, dude, he's looking. I mean, I was ready to sell off half the team and give up at the All-Star break, and these talk about just at face of adversity. These guys, I mean, everything that's happened. They had a 10 game streak of losing. We have 2 pitchers who are no longer with the team and are being investigated, and
lockers are cleaned out
to rally around the team and be like, you know what, outside noise doesn't matter. We're going to go out there and we're going to sweep the Mets. We're going to almost throw a freaking no hitter. Like where did this come from? I love it. It's awesome. So Stephen Vogt is just like, great job.
And all of those that were clamoring for CJ Kafis, you're welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, they took their time with it, and look, he's a first baseman converted to outfield duties to be able to get into the lineup.
Right.
That's a heck of a play during that, no-hitter attempt yesterday. That's a guy that hasn't been playing outfield very long and made it look like that's something he just does on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. Maybe those things can calm down. I mean, I haven't heard anything about Chase DeLauder, and I'm sure once he comes back from injury, that's going to ramp right back up. But
yeah,
this team, this organization knows what they're doing. I know that being in contention, even just being in contention for the playoffs, isn't good enough when you haven't won the World Series in over 70 years. Look at it from, several different angles. Yes, they need to finally put it all together and get to the mountaintop. Yes, that's very, very true. But what they've been able to do in a very top-heavy league, especially money-wise.
Right. It's like they're doing it with the one hand tied behind their back. So
you don't just have decent baseball. I'm not qualifying this as a moral victory. It's not just decent baseball from time to time or good baseball. A lot of times it's great baseball. Yeah. And it's fun to watch right now. Keep your eyes on the Cleveland Guardians. Yes, the Browns are getting into their games, but Guardians should stay around the forefront of all of our attentions right now.
And the schedule's promising. In White Sox, we got Marlins, Braves, and Diamondbacks. Those are winnable. I mean, Marlins are about even. That's
win series.
Yeah, that's what you need to do.
A sweep in New York was great.
Right.
And I love seeing that Frank guy from Barstool having an absolute crash out. I love the work that he's done to lose weight though too. That is a great story. He's over 500 pounds. He's finally under 300. He walks every day. That's a cool story to follow from them. But New York fans crashing out is always just joyous to me. It's a fun time.
Jelly Roll too. You see him lost 200 pounds.
Yeah,
that's great. He was with the was it the Lions? I think he went to go speak with the Lions.
Oh, Titans.
It was Titans. Yeah, sorry, blue jersey. Yeah, and it was great. Yeah, he's from Tennessee.
He was in SummerSlam over the weekend. It put in all the work and what I found great about that is we kind of helps transition to who comes in the room next after us. It's always Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast, Kyle Cornell, AA, Anthony Alford. Make sure you check them out on YouTube. They got plenty of clips, and they post clips throughout the week as well, reacting to all the pro wrestling. It was cool to see Jelly Roll, but I saw him in a podcast with Cody Rhodes. I think the clip came out today. He said, I asked Triple H, the COO, the content, all of the stuff that you're producing runs by him. He said, I wanted to lose because most celebrities come in to WWE and they're in the wrestling terms put over, or at least they win.
Right.
They're given the stage, the spotlight.
Sure.
Just because they're coming in every now and again. He said, I wanted to lose because I wanted to be different than.
That's awesome. It's not about ego. It's just for fun,
Took an absolute
butt whooping. I didn't see it, so
like there was a butt whooping, but he was, and like he's still like getting into it because he was covering the certain region when he was laying on one of the announcer desks, and Logan Paul just does like one of the biggest frog splashes you've ever seen, and like I'm telling you, Logan Paul is facing, like I'm facing the camera right now. He turned his body 90 degrees and was like full belly to belly with
wow.
Jelly Roll. And of course the desks are made to break, but they're somewhat reinforced now.
Sure.
Still hurts like hell.
Yeah.
It was like, those are the moments. If you're not into pro wrestling, you're not into it. Like, people always want to try to debate. Like, I don't understand why people are pro wrestling fans.
It's entertainment. Who cares?
Like, again, it's the whole thing. Don't like people just telling you it's just a game. Your passion doesn't matter. People are passionate about it. You're not?
Yep.
Go on with what you're passionate about.
I'm passionate about mushrooms. I like going to find mushrooms in the woods. People think I'm a nerd. I don't care. I know how to identify almost 100 mushrooms.
Lift them up. I'm not calling people nerds.
Yeah.
But
I am a nerd, but
that is going to
do it. It's a good thing.
Yeah. That is going to do it for this edition of The Voice of the Land. Again, next week, we're going to try to get a little more. We'll have some Browns react and preview, because they'll be going into their next preseason game, and after 2 joint practices with the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll have all of that for you, plus guards updates,
Greenies
fun stories.
contest.
Yes.
Reveal the winner.
Yep. Greenies contest at VTL_pod. Enter now. Get your name in there.
Got 1 week.
1 week to go. And we will pick the winner next week. GreenieSportsCards.com. Reach out to our buddies there. For Peter Tellep, our producer extraordinaire, who you never hear and never see anymore. Ryan Mosser, I'm Kevin Arnold. Please don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all. 3,000.
Go take that job, Shador.
Go take it. Take advantage of your opportunities. And take a lesson from Shador if he does, people. Take advantage of opportunities that are in front of you. Live life, all gas, no breaks. Don't let oh my gosh, what is it? Don't talk about it, be about it. I'm totally lost. That's when it's time to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Voice of the Land on the Big Play Network, brought to you by Greenie Sports Cards.